Written consent of WPSL and WSTU is strictly prohibited. Now, welcome to My Dream Home Radio Show. Here's your host, Eileen Simons.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing fine.
And I have to say that I'm here with my guest, Mike Redling, this morning, and Paula is covering the office for us so that we can bring Mike into the studio.
There you go. All right. Well, Mike, welcome aboard.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right. Yeah. Well, Eileen, tell us a little bit about where you're going in this show here.
Well, we are going to do our interview with our featured guest first this morning, and I'll keep everything else on the outline for afterwards so that because this, in my estimation, this is an extremely important day. That's why Mike is here in the studio with us. Today is World Habitat Day, and Mike works with Habitat for Humanity in Martin County, and so he graciously accepted to come and be in the studio with us this morning and talk about Habitat for Humanity in Martin County and World Habitat Day. So welcome, Mike.
Thank you very much. It's a great day to be able to come out and talk to you people.
Good. I'm glad you feel that way. So I know you've been with Habitat for a few years now, right?
Coming up on 12.
Yeah, more than a few.
But it only feels like about 50.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Nonprofit life, it's nonstop.
And, of course, Margot is the greatest at Martin County Habitat for Humanity. And, Mike, what is your job there?
So my job, Margot's the executive director.
Right.
She's been there about 2 months longer than I have. I'm the director of development, which in the Habitat world means I write all the grants, I talk to people and get sponsorships, I do anything I can do to kind of get money flowing to allow us to go out and build more houses and get some more people out of where they're living into better affordable living.
Yes, and for those of you that don't know what Habitat for Humanity is, the reason I'm involved in it is because I really believe in their program, and their motto is a hand up, not a hand out. Everybody who gets a Habitat home has to qualify for it, and they have to do hundreds of hours of sweat equity before that home is finished as well. They do have an extremely important screening process in the process of doing that and identifying people who will be able to qualify for those home loans. I think it's important to understand, from my understanding is anyway, that those home loans are interest-free loans. It's not a free house that they get. They still have to make their mortgage payment every month.
That is absolutely correct. And in 12 years is probably the number one myth that I have tried to dispel my entire time at Habitat. Our homeowners, as you said, it's a very tough process. It can be anywhere from 1 year to we've had homeowners wait 6 and 7 years to be able to qualify for houses. We build 8 to 10 houses a year. We get anywhere from 200 to 300 applications a year. So to be able to kind of get to the top of that mountain to where you qualify for a house, do your 300 hours of sweat equity, put down a $2,000 down payment, which goes to escrow to cover your taxes and insurance, and then you get a 30-year no-interest mortgage, it's quite an accomplishment. It really is a great achievement on their parts.
Now, you talk about the sweat equity part of this. What do most of the people do?
So the whole goal of sweat equity is obviously we want you to have a little bit of skin in the game. We want you to be involved and know what's going on. But we want you to also, a lot of our homeowners build their own houses. They're out on the work site with our construction manager and with our site managers, and they're building their own houses alongside volunteers and everybody else that comes. But what that means is when they do close on their house and 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, something goes wrong, they know how to fix it. They know the ins and outs of their house, better than any of us know the ins and outs of our house. I can almost guarantee you, as somebody going through an air conditioning problem right now can tell you for sure.
Oh, no.
So they know their house in and out. They know where all the nails are, and they should be able to diagnose problems and hopefully fix them a little easier. So it's a great program that they're super involved in. It just helps them moving forward.
And I've seen the whole family working toward that sweat equity as
Oh,
well.
yeah, and as I have. And, what gets me, too, is how you get community organizations involved as well. You're realtors, right?
We love our realtors.
Yeah. Weren't the realtors kind of the impetus in the women's build? I think they were.
So the Women's Build is a habitat program that we've been involved with, well, at least for the 12 years I've been here. I think a couple years before that. And it's one of the women's realtors' focus is to come out and build during that week. It kind of makes sense. I guess it goes hand in hand. But that said, we used to have realtors that would come out on Saturdays, groups of them, and fly our trusses by hand. We'd have 20, 30 realtors out there on one site on a weekend lifting up trusses up to more realtors up on top of the roof and flying the trusses by hand. They did that for 25 or 30 houses before OSHA said we couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, there's so many things that they won't let the volunteers do anymore.
It's gotten tough. Roofing is hard with volunteers. Obviously, the trades, we have to have AC trades, we have to have electrical trades and plumbing trades, but we can still fit volunteers in and find things for them to do, and we got plenty of work to do, that's for sure. So as much help as we can get.
That's amazing. Well, I didn't even think about flying trusses up. That's incredible. Yeah. But now, as you say, those are roof people that.
We do have roof people now, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, and these really are homes that are built from the ground up. Lots are donated. Generally, lots are donated,
we
right?
We have a lot of lots donated. We purchased some at very low prices that we're able to keep it in the affordable range. But the whole habitat process, from donating a lot to the foundation, we'll have volunteers come out and do the footers. Foundation goes in, the block goes in, and then we'll have volunteers do framing and insulation and all the foil work, all the drywall work. They come and do that, painting, landscaping, and of course this is all on hands with the family that's actually going to purchase the house, which really makes it a great experience for everybody out on the site.
How long does it take to build one of those homes?
Well, pre-COVID, it took about 4 to 6 months.
Oh, okay. Pre-COVID. Okay.
So we used to be in the 4 to 6 month range. We're finishing up a 40 home neighborhood in Indiantown called Carter Park. So we built Carter Park out 4 houses at a time, and it took 4 to 6 months to build all 4. Now we're having a little issue, as everybody else is, with windows that used to be 6 weeks out are now 26 weeks out. Lumber is not only skyrocketed in price, but the availability and the quality, to be honest, is a little bit less than what we're normal. So we're finishing up Carter Park right now. We've got the final 2 houses under construction, and it looks like those houses are going to take more in the 7 to 8 month range, which is still good. Those should be done right around Christmas time, which is perfect. We'd like to have our families in their new houses for Christmas would be ideal. But yeah, the pandemic's changed a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, the supply chain now is ridiculous.
Ridiculous is a good word.
We're starting to see, here we go again with the toilet paper, paper towels, water. It's all starting again. It's weird.
It really is. And again, everybody's been through it, but our house prices, we compared a house that we built in 2019 to one we just completed, and the price, total price on that went up 12.5%. And that's basically over a year. The houses, the 2 that we're under construction now, I'm counting on them being from 19 to this year, being up between 18 and 21%. And that's a big hit. That's a big chunk of money when you're talking, houses that used to cost $120,000 now are looking at $135,000, $140,000.
And that's just supply cost, right?
That's just supply costs.
Wow.
But again, that's a cost that gets rolled into an affordable mortgage. So the higher the cost to build the house is, obviously the higher the mortgage is, and the less people that can qualify for that mortgage. So we try to keep it as low as possible to keep those low income families in play as far as affordable housing goes.
How long does the average family stay in one of those homes?
We've been building houses. We completed our first house in 1991. We've built 150 actually houses since then.
That's cool.
We've had 18 people pay off their homes. still living there. The first woman that bought her house in 1991 still lives in that house. We've had several people that had to move from the area, so they were able to sell their house. So what happens there is Habitat has the right of first refusal. So we will pay appraised value for the house. Every year that the homeowner's in the house, they get 5% equity. So they're accruing equity with each year that they complete their mortgage payments. So, for example, we had a woman that lived in Hobe Sound that became sick, and she had to move to North Carolina to move in with her brother so that she could be taken care of. She lived in her house for 8 years. She'd acquired 40% equity. We bought her house, sent her on her way with a good chunk of money so that she was able to get up there and get settled and safe. And then we took that house and we didn't rebuild it, but we remodeled it, new appliances, new paint, and then we were able to resell it to another family. So that's the way the program goes.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes. Once you're part of the family, you're always part of the family.
For sure. And you know what? We're a builder. We're also the bank. We give the 30-year mortgages. The families come into our offices a lot of times to pay their mortgage every month, and that gives us a chance to say, hey, how are you? How's the baby? How's everything going? We know when, in 2008, 2009, when things weren't great with the economy and people were losing jobs, we knew when our people lost jobs, and we were able to work with them until they got back on their feet. So you're right. Once you're part of the family, you're always part of the family, and that's one of the things that, I've been at Habitat for 12 years because of.
Now, I know St. Lucie does something similar. Is this a national thing with Habitat?
It is. There are almost 1,600 affiliates nationwide, Habitat affiliates nationwide. There are 57 in Florida. So generally speaking, it's one per county. We're Martin County, St. Lucie County. Palm Beach has 2. When you get up into the Panhandle, sometimes you get 2 counties that'll combine into one. But so we're one of 57 in the state.
And there's 67 counties. So yeah, I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would imagine that whole I-10 corridor doubles up.
Yeah, a couple of them double up. And again, you've got Palm Beach with 2. I think they're the only one with 2, though, actually.
Yeah, they probably have what, an east and a west?
North and a south.
North and a south.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should have gone east-west, but yeah, north-south.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. What are your plans for next year?
Keep doing what I'm doing. So we're going to finish up Carter Park. Like I said, the final 2 houses should be done hopefully by Christmas, and that will make 40 in that neighborhood. Carter Park was such a success. We've been working on it for, I guess, 8 or 9 years now, building homes. It was such a success that everybody wanted to see it kind of duplicated, have one dedicated neighborhood of houses for affordable housing for Habitat families. The change that Carter Park brought to the whole area where it is in Indiantown, it's kind of sandwiched between Booker Park and another neighborhood. And you can see the change kind of radiate through Booker Park as we build houses, things cleaned up all around it. So we're moving to Hobe Sound next. We've got 18 homes scheduled to go in Hobe Sound off of kind of Petway and US 1. We've already built 27 homes in Banner Lake, which is just south of Bridge Road. And this is going to give us a chance to kind of expand our footprint. So Petway is about 2 miles north of Banner Lake, up US 1. It's a whole different area for us. It's an area where there's an existing neighborhood that's been there. It's a historic neighborhood. It's been there forever. And we're looking really forward to getting in there, starting to build houses, and then work with those families that are living in the neighborhood now and just kind of help them out with their houses, do some painting, do some pressure washing, fix some rotten trim, whatever they need. So Petway's the next stop, and hopefully we'll be there 3 years or so.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I mean, this sounds like...
Oh, yes. And it's important to understand that not only does Habitat build these homes with families' helps, but there's also other services that Habitat for Humanity provides to the population.
You're referring to the Restore.
Well, the Restore and the other, sometimes they will do deconstruction of a house in order to have things donated to the Restore.
So that's one of our favorite things to do. Our construction guys love building houses, but they really, really, really like taking houses apart. So we, if somebody has a house that's going to be demolished and so they can rebuild another house or whatever, we will go in there with our team of volunteers and construction crew, and We'll take out all the cabinets. We'll take out all the fixtures. We'll take out if they've got, wood floors or, ceilings, whatever we can get out of there that's of value that we can bring back to the restore to resell. We are more than happy to go in and do it.
They want to take our cabinets out. That would be great.
I mean, can they be resold? I'm still here.
Well, it would have to be an antique shop, I think.
So I only get to see the construction side when those beautiful homes are finished. I love going to the dedications. Most of my volunteer time is spent at the restore because I am power tool challenged. I'm not the safest person on a construction site.
Yeah,
so
but you can work a register, though, right?
I spend the time in the restore, yeah.
There you go.
And it is so much fun to watch people's expressions the first time they come in because they say, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea the store was so big," or "Oh my gosh, you have so many things here." I walked in Friday to volunteer, and there is a chandelier that they built a frame around so that the chandelier can hang and everybody can see it. This thing is 4 feet tall.
Sure. I remember Habitat Restore St. Lucie on Okeechobee Road was a swap shop sponsor for, 10, 15 years. And it was amazing when the person doing the calls with Cliff would start enumerating the stuff that they had was like, it was near new,
Oh, you'd be surprised some of the stuff
you
that
would
comes
be
through.
amazed.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we've got a Floors Direct down the street from us will bring over tons of carpet. I mean, he'll bring over 2 and 3 truckloads of carpet that,
We bought one last year.
there you go. I mean,
Okay.
brand new carpet
These are
that
brand
we'll
new.
put out and, we'll be able to sell, and we'll get donations from all over the county. Luckily we've got places like Sewell's Point and Jupiter Island that, when they decide they're going to remodel their kitchen, we get the old kitchen. So we get a lot of good stuff coming through the restore. And like you said, you show up haven't been there for a couple of days, you show up on a Friday or a Monday and everything's switched out, everything's new. It's pretty incredible.
Every day it's a different store.
Right.
Wow.
And some people come and shop every day, so we really get to know them. You know them by first name when they walk in.
That's amazing.
It really is. I mean, I can tell you at 9 o'clock when I pull up sometimes that there's going to be the black truck with the trailer parked here. There's going to be the blue car over here because there's people that are there every day at 9 o'clock to see what came in while they were gone yesterday. And, and you've seen it, Eileen, there's a lot of good stuff that comes in and goes out real quick.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so folks out driving around right now listening to this going, wow, this is amazing. I guess you could participate in a bunch of ways. You look for volunteers?
Always looking for volunteers. And if you are power tool challenged, we've got the restore. We've also got administrative offices. We're always looking for office work, people that can come in and help us do kind of whatever's going on that day. I'd like to tell you we have set plans, but we don't ever really have set plans. So we're just kind of doing different things every day, trying to get through as best we can, and we need as much help as we can. So it doesn't have to be swinging hammers. It doesn't have to be, pricing stuff in the restore. You can help us out a ton of different ways.
So you have that two-headed coin too, huh?
I feel like it's 4 or 5-headed sometimes.
Yes. Been there, done that.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
And
my
of course, you can also donate cash. As World Habitat Day is today, it's a wonderful day to get involved, whatever way you want to get involved. Mike, can you give us the phone number for Habitat in Martin County?
So our office number is 772-223-9940. As you mentioned, it is World Habitat Day, and kind of in honor of World Habitat Day, we've been selling little houses in the restore that you can buy for $5 or $10 and put your name on it and just kind of celebrate World Habitat that day that way. We have them lined up over the register in the restore it's a cool way to celebrate and a cool way to get to help out on a pretty special day.
Yes, absolutely. Give the phone number one more time, please.
772-223-9940.
And if you travel Federal Highway. The Habitat for Humanity Martin County store is on the corner of 21st Street and Federal Highway. I think the address is 2200?
2090.
2090. 2090.
Yeah, on the west side of the road.
On the west side of the road.
Correct, yes. And it's huge. It used to be a furniture store, so it's very big.
It's only 30,000 square feet.
Oh, gosh.
The only thing we don't, basically, the only thing we don't sell in there are soft goods. We don't take clothes donations or
No
personal-
mattresses.
Yeah, personal items like that. No mattresses, but we have a very large, popular housewares department. We have windows, doors, tons and tons of furniture. From time to time, there are some sporting goods. We have, right now, we have a lot of golf sets in bags.
Yes. Many golf
There's
sets.
always a number of desks and filing furniture. We have dining sets. We have individual chairs, couches galore. We have wall units and pieces of furniture like that. Right now there's an antique sewing machine. If anybody collects sewing machines,
Ooh.
there's an antique sewing machine in the store. At least it was there on Friday.
I don't know. We were open Saturday. You never know.
Right? Yeah.
Tons of
Habitat-
appliances. Lots of appliances, too.
Oh yes, appliances, and the appliances have a 30-day warranty on them.
And
They're
everything
all
is
checked
tested,
before they go
exactly.
on the floor.
And I've got to tell you, we donated a couch, love seat, and a chair for to Habitat, and that crew that came out was so professional,
Well, thank you for that.
so nice, and it was like, wow, this is really, really nice, and both of them said thank you. I think a half dozen times, and that gets to me. Because, okay, I may not go into the restore all the time, but that's the representative I saw
Right.
from Habitat.
Yes.
So I'll remember that as I have. I mean, it was
Right.
6 months ago.
No, and that's my job, is to go talk to everybody in the county, right, and get all the word out. And my drivers see 50 more people per day than I do.
That's
I mean,
right.
They're the face of Habitat, and they're the arm. Like you said, that's who you associate with Habitat for Humanity, and the fact that they said thank you half a dozen times is perfect. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the way it is. I mean, we're more than just building houses, and we're more than just selling couches. We're 41 people working at Habitat for Humanity, and every one of us represents the same cause. So thank you for saying that. It was very, very nice.
And it's 41 employees, besides all of us volunteers.
Right.
So how many volunteers does it, this is probably a loaded question. How many volunteers does it take to handle a store that huge?
Are you asking, that's like, how many people does it take to change a light bulb?
In this place? Don't ask
Yeah,
that
really.
question.
So it's how many people does it take to sell a light bulb? We're talking about the restore.
I like that. I like that.
So the number of volunteers changes on a daily basis. The volunteer coordinator, Deb, she is just wonderful. I love her to death. And we always have a place if you want to come and help. So don't hesitate to ask.
And again, volunteers at your office area as well.
Absolutely.
Or is that in the restore?
Well, our office area is in the restore.
Okay.
If you come in and make a left, you're not going to be able to buy a couch, but you can sit on one and talk to me for a while. If you come in and make a right, you got all the couches you want.
Oh my, that sounds great. When you came to Habitat and look back on it all, what really sold you on that position?
So my career, I was a sports writer for 23 years before I got to Habitat for Humanity.
My condolences.
We all miss our newspapers, I know. So
I saw one in a museum.
you were talking about the antiques earlier. So I took a job as the grant writer just because I needed a job. I thought I'll be here 2 years, we'll move on to something else. We'll figure something else out. And and kind of like Eileen mentioned, it's not a handout, it's a hand up. I've seen, I think since I've been there, we've built 81 or 82 homes, and I've seen firsthand the change that where a family comes from and where they go once they are able to purchase a Habitat home. It just makes a huge difference in their lives. There's the first family right now that's going to be moving into the Petway neighborhood. Nobody should be living in the house that they're living in right now. They certainly shouldn't have any children living in that house, but they do. And they're one of however many thousands of people in Martin County that are living in conditions like that. So the more money I can raise, the more houses we can build, and the quicker we can get them out of conditions like that. And to be honest, that's why I'm still here. To be a grant writer or development director for 12 years at the same organization, a lot of people get burned out, but you know what? It's just if you see the difference before dedication and after dedication, it's a world of difference. So that's why I'm still here.
Well, and I can tell you from my personal experience, I started volunteering at Habitat for Humanity in Michigan many years ago.
Oh, okay.
And when I decided to come to Florida full time, it was wonderful because there was this huge Habitat for Humanity store that just went in front of my complex. And I said, oh, look I can go there and volunteer again. And I have to tell you that Margot and the staff just welcomed me with open arms. And I've been there ever since for as many weekday volunteer trips as I can. I just really believe in the program. What I think people don't realize is that as Mike was talking about, you have no idea what terrible conditions some people have to live in because, number one, they don't know that there is another option, or number two, they can't afford another option. It's not that they choose to live in those conditions with holes in the floor and they should have a Terminex person every day of the week.
Exposed electrical wires, mold,
Yes. So for them to be able to come to a beautiful new home that is theirs, you can just imagine the pride and ownership. When you drive into Carter Park now, I was there, I think, for maybe the fourth house that was finished there. And of course, everything was brand new then. But when you drive into Carter Park now, and I have to mention, it's in the same neighborhood as the Boys and Girls Club. So it's just a beautiful little neighborhood, and now everybody has their flowers planted, and their flags are hanging out, and their porches have furniture on them, and there is a community garden that I saw when I was there for the last dedication. It is just it just warms your heart. I don't know a better way to say it.
Well, I've seen when you dedicate the home and turn it over to the people. I've seen that on television, and it's
you should come in person.
Yeah, I've got to, because it almost seems like a religious experience.
It's pretty emotional a lot of times. It is almost a religious experience.
Well, we do give the family a Bible.
Okay.
Yes, they get the key to their house and a Bible.
If you think about it, when we go to buy a house, we go running around with a realtor for 2, 3, 4 months, hopefully no more than that. And we find a house, we put a down payment on it and go through all this stuff, and then we move into our house. Somebody gives us the key at the closing, and we move in. We didn't work 2 or 3 or 4 years for that. We didn't put in 300 hours of sweat equity. We didn't put down a down payment that we had to save for 2 years to get to. We just went out and bought a house. So when we get to the dedication part and all the sweat equity's behind you and the down payment's in, and you've done everything and seen all the people that have come, that people you don't know, show up and help build your house, it's a huge, huge moving experience. And it's just a big experience all around. We've had homeowners cry, but I've had people in the crowd crying that have never even met them before. So it's just, it's hard to explain unless you're there, but it's just a very, very emotional time to be.
I remember talking to Megan McRoberts at Channel 5 about one of the homes, and she just said there was not a dry ice among any of the television crews.
I have said that all the time. I've been to several dedications now, and there are a lot of people that come because it's open to all the volunteers,
Sure.
all the family members, anybody that wants to come can come, and not during COVID, but you also get an opportunity to walk through the house and see how it was finished and what they chose for flooring. And it's an open floor plan. The kitchen is open to the great room, and then bedrooms and bathrooms, and it's such a great experience.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you're looking at how many homes in Hope Sound?
We're going to be doing 18. So we bought we were able to purchase a little piece of property, like I said, just north of Petway. It was 20 lots. We partnered with Martin County Community Development and South Martin Regional Utility, and they put in $1.1 million worth of infrastructure. So they came into that. It was a wooded lot. It's been wooded forever. And they put in roads and sidewalks and sewer lines and water lines and electric lines, everything. They built a U-shaped kind of road, so it's a U-shaped neighborhood, and they left, well, when they're done in a couple weeks, there'll be 18 buildable lots for us to go in and start building on.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So, all right, so you're partnering with a bunch of people then to get a lot of this done. If you're talking
whenever you
utility
can, right?
companies and the county.
I'm partnering with whoever I can partner with. The county's been great. They put in almost $2 million worth of infrastructure for us to be able to build Carter Park. And again, that was a 12-acre wooded lot that they went in, put street, sewer, water, all the stuff in. And now, 8 years later, they've got 40 houses that are paying property taxes of more than $100 a year. So it's a great investment on the county's part. It's a great investment on the neighborhood's part, because the Habitat families that come in tend to stabilize the neighborhood. I mean, these are families that have been through homeowner training classes. They've been vetted God knows how many times. They've been through a qualification process that is very tough. So when they come into a neighborhood and own their own house, there's a lot of pride, and that pride kind of extends through the neighborhood. So I think when you get a bunch of Habitat houses together, everything around it stabilizes. So it's a good investment for everyone around.
Okay, so how does a family qualify for one of these homes?
That would be Sonia's job.
It would be Sonia's job, and thank God we have Sonia. She's our homeowner services director. So we work with families that make between 40 and 80% of the average median income. In Martin County, the average median income is $70,000 to $71,000 a year. So, and it's a sliding scale. If there's four members in your house, obviously the income can go up a little bit. But generally speaking, we're looking at people that make between $27,000-ish to maybe $60,000 a year. They have to be willing to partner with Habitat. They have to be willing to do the 300 hours of sweat equity service. They have to put in the $2,000 down payment. And they have to be in need, which unfortunately right now isn't that much of a problem. We can always find people in need right now. So those are the three main qualifications. You have to just be willing to do your work and put down your down payment and come join the program.
Well, that's amazing. You mentioned a school, a homeowner school, if you will.
So part of our part of our homeowner process is you take 12 classes that we provide the classes there. It's basically just how to budget better. What's the language of your mortgage? You're going to be signing a mortgage here in a couple months. We want you to know what's in it, what all those crazy words are, and what it means. How to be a good neighbor. We'll have the sheriff's deputies come in and talk about how to be a good neighbor, what to look for if you see something, who to call, what to say, how to shop, how to shop on a budget, how to budget your personal finances.
I think I need to sign up for this.
I think it should be given in high school.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, it's, again, I bought my first house. They gave me a mortgage. I signed it. I left. I'm like, I have no idea what this mortgage says. I mean, I have an idea, but we go through it line by line and let them know this is what it says. This is what you're responsible for. This is what this means. Escrow, stuff like that. So, the classes are really good. They're open to the public. You don't have to be a Habitat homeowner to partake. We can, I think Sonia has them on Zoom now or even on YouTube, so we can get them to people that want to be able to listen to them.
I'll have to
amazing.
ask her about that. I didn't realize they were open to the public.
I think she's recorded them, and now that because of COVID changed everything, we used to bring people in on the weekends, and COVID changed everything. So I'm pretty sure, and again, we'll check with Sonia, but I'm pretty sure we have them recorded somehow so that we can just get them out to you.
Great.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
It really is.
And again, it should be a high school course. It's ridiculous. So.
Well, yeah, actually, we're starting to hear, I know in talking with an IRSC professor, financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I know some of our ball players at IRSC are into that. So,
Good.
yeah, they're going to the business school and learning that aspect of it. So, yeah, it's amazing.
It should be taught with reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah, it should be. That's the operative word. Is
Yes.
is should be. There's
Yes.
no doubt about it. Well, now you're obviously Martin County, but what are the actual areas that you serve?
So we serve all of Martin County. We build in the CRA areas, the community redevelopment areas. There's 7 of those in Martin County. So we focus a lot of our building in those areas because that tends to be where the biggest need is. So we've built in Golden Gate and Indiantown and Port Salerno. I think we've built in all of them except for Jensen Beach and Palm City. But yeah, that's where we focus. We are limited, I should say, to Martin County, but we focus on those areas.
St. Lucie County has their own chapter of Habitat for Humanity.
Right. Yeah, and boy, it's the more I hear about this, it's just really and truly amazing. And Eileen, I can understand how you've gotten hooked on this. Yeah, seriously, it's just it's an amazing experience.
Well, especially working in the real estate industry for so many years, and you see so many people in need that you can't help because they can't go out and purchase on the regular open market. So that was how I first got involved with Habitat, and then the longer you're there and the more you see. And I had the advantage of not only working in the restore then, but I helped on the administrative side also. If they needed somebody to type something and I was there, so I got to see a lot of the philosophy, the original philosophy of Habitat for Humanity, which just hooked me. So as far as I'm concerned, I will always be part of the organization.
Now, you mentioned worldwide Habitat Day.
World
is this
Habitat Day.
Is this a worldwide?
This is World Habitat Day.
Yeah,
so
people think Jimmy Carter started it. He really didn't start Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, Al Gore didn't either?
No, Al Gore didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, but
Eileen is right. Uh-oh.
Jimmy Carter put the face to Habitat for Humanity for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
kind of, it was started in 1976. He didn't have a whole lot to do after 1980, and I think Habitat kind of spoke to him. So he's the one that put the face to it. But yeah, so today, World Habitat Day. In 1985, the United Nations General Assembly decreed that decent housing is a basic human right, and that today is World Habitat Day, is the day that we are to recognize that decent housing is a basic human right. So that's what we're celebrating, basic human rights today.
Is your organization in other countries then?
We're in, I believe it's 220 other countries.
Oh, wow.
I may be wrong on that number, but it is over 200 for sure. And we, so each affiliate tithes 10% of their incomes, and we're able to designate a country to where that tithe money can go. So we've tithed to different countries. I think the last one we tithed to or are currently tithing to is Hungary. And we've helped build 57 houses in Hungary with that tithe money. So it's all one big network of building houses all over the world.
Affordable houses.
Affordable houses. That's the very key word.
It's incredible.
That people will respect and take care of, yes.
For sure.
So do you have I know cities have like sister cities.
Right.
I mean, have you worked with some countries like
We've
that
worked with
too?
other countries, and so there's also a global build where volunteers can go. Like, we have volunteers that go build in different countries. So we had some go to Guatemala a couple times, one in Chile. So we will partner with those countries when we have volunteers going down there for those kind of things.
Wow, this is just so much bigger in one county. This
We
is
also
amazing.
have volunteers that come to Habitat in Martin County also. They come in the wintertime with their campers.
Yes, the caravanners. So there's a group.
Wait a minute, Habitat snowbirds?
Oh,
Yeah, really.
absolutely, and their own. So they show up in their RVs, and they usually stay at each affiliate for 2 weeks. They stay with us for 2 weeks, and then they'll go to somewhere else. Like the last group left and went to Pasco County, and the other part of them went to Fort Myers. But they'll stay for 2 weeks. A lot of them have their own tools because they travel around the country doing this, so they're used to building. And yeah, they'll come in groups of 2 or 3, however many we can hold at one time. They'll build for 2 weeks and then move on. The other thing I have, which I think is amazing, is the Collegiate Challenge. So colleges on their winter breaks or on their spring breaks will send groups of 15, 16, 17 students down here, and they'll build on the spring break, which is exactly what I did when I was on spring break when I was in college. I went and built affordable housing. I did not.
I was going to say, that's a much better alternative
Right,
for
you're
spring
not.
break than what usually happens.
For sure.
You obviously didn't go to Florida State.
So we'll get college kids that come down for, like I said, winter break and spring break and build for a week and enjoy the sunshine. And we have a high school that comes from Juneau, Alaska, that comes during March for their spring break because they want to go to baseball games. So they go to the spring training games with
Sure.
the Mets. So it works out all the way around. We get help in the morning from 8 to 12. They get to go watch baseball, go hang out at the beach, and everybody's happy. So, yeah, like I said, there's a million different ways to volunteer. So just have to be creative.
What an incredible story. This is truly amazing. World Habitat Day.
Yes. And everybody can participate in one way or another.
In one way or another.
So, again, give your phone number again.
772-223-9940.
And if that's the only phone number you have for Habitat and you have furniture or whatever to donate, call that phone number. If you're in a different county, we will give you the phone number for that county so that you can contact them directly.
We're very good at referring, yes.
That's great. Good stuff. Well, I don't know. This has been an amazing show.
Well, I'm so glad that Mike could take the time to spend with us this morning.
No, thank you guys very much. Show up
bet.
every week if you need me. This is great.
Yeah. Hey, you're welcome. Believe me.
Thank you.
You're certainly welcome. So, what else is going on here?
Well,
outside of
I have a little bit of
Habitat Day?
other information before we run out of time that I can get through. Just a couple of fun things. First of all, I want to remind everybody that the fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County is coming up in the Chili Cook-Off on October 23rd. It's going to be at Clover Park this year. Plenty of room for everybody that wants to participate. And I think it's free to the public, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, free to the public. And it is going to be from 11 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. So plenty of time to bring your family and come and do all the taste
Now,
testing.
if you want to test all our chilies and stuff, you
pay for that.
Buy a little pack of, I guess, spoons and stuff like that.
Yes.
And all of our booths, and I think there's 30 of us, will have their own chili, and then we have to, as you can see by the huge statue out there, we have to then compete ourselves for the
Are you touting the fact that you won the trophy? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. You bet.
So anyway, that's October 23rd.
Yeah, it should be fun. And
Yes.
the first time at Met Stadium, so Clover Park.
Okay, and these stats will tell you exactly why Habitat for Humanity is so important, not only to Martin County, but to the world. Or at least to our country that I know of. These are the new numbers in Inman this is a periodical that I subscribe to as a realtor because it's all real estate related information. But the number of the day is 19.2%. The year-over-year spike in U.S. home price growth between July 2020 and July 2021 average is 19.2%. Yes, more and more people are not going to be able to afford. The other thing that I read this week, the average mortgage is over $400,000.
Wait a minute. Average mortgage.
Average mortgage across the country is over $400,000.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yes. I mean, literally, those numbers are
Puts
getting
me out
to
of the
be
market.
scary,
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around this industry long enough to see it go up and down several times. And, of course, the big crash none of us want to ever go through again. But it can only go up for so long, and then it has to come down. It looks like it's leveling out locally. It looks like it's leveling out a little bit right now. But, come December, January, February,
Snowbirds.
it's gonna be going up again. The other thing that I wanted to, this is a fun thing. Well, two things. This is about New York, but it's just a comparison of prices. So Gloria Vanderbilt's property in a Manhattan apartment sold for $1.1 million recently, which I thought was really inexpensive from what I hear about Manhattan apartments.
That is inexpensive.
Yeah, so Gloria Vanderbilt's Manhattan apartment sold for $1.1 million. And then there is another one. Hang on while I go through these papers because I know I have it here. The tallest residential skyscraper in the world is in New York. It has 93 floors to it. I forget what floor this one was on. This one sold for $28.5 million.
I'll take a dozen.
And they had to bring the price down because nobody wanted to have an apartment that high. They felt like they weren't part of the city that way because everything was below them. So it sold for $28.5 million.
So why did they buy this stupid thing in the first place?
Because they got a deal on it.
They got it.
Yeah, this is new. This is new. This had not been sold before.
Oh, brother. Okay.
God help us.
Okay.
Anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring up, of course, is there are properties on the market. I did a search yesterday for people who are looking for, let's call it a 25 to 3,500 square foot home in Martin County, and I found 19 listings.
Whoa.
So there are a few properties on the market. These are some of the condos that are on the market right now. I didn't highlight this, so I don't know how well I can read it. But I'll take this. Let's do this one, because I know these are in Port St. Lucie. These are single-family homes. In Port St. Lucie, there is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Living square feet is 2,534, and the asking price of this one is $425,000. It has a 2-car garage on it. There is another one in Port St. Lucie that is almost 1,600 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, on the market for $299,900. There is one in Fort Pierce that I found that is actually, this looks like, from the picture anyway, I don't have the year built. From the picture, it looks like a fairly new home. This is a little over 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, on the market for $290,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are some decent homes out there.
Now, 20 years ago, could you even comprehend a property in Port St. Lucie 400,000? I mean, that's
Well, and now what's the average price in Port St. Lucie? It's like I want to say
It's up
350
there.
now,
Yeah, it's
something
up there.
like that. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one in Stewart that is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, almost 2,500 square feet. It's on the market it's in a private community, but membership is not required. And
all right. How do they do that?
it's a little over 500. Well, so many of the private communities just took such a beating after the last crash, and they had a lot of difficulty bringing their property values back up again after that. So many of them decided to change their membership requirements, either make them not required, move the fees around somehow, things like that. So this particular community, I know that membership, it is a gated golf community in Stewart, and membership is not mandatory anymore. So, and that house is listed at $519. So, I have 30 of them. If you want any more information, let me know. The number is 772-200-5105, and we are always here to help or answer your questions, get you to the right person that can help you, and all that good stuff.
All right. So for folks who want to get in touch with you at eXp Realty, how do we do it?
So you can call or text 772-200-5105, and that gets you to me and my team members as well, and any other of our realtor associates that we refer to. We have connections all over the world. So wherever you are going or wherever you're coming from, we can help you personally, or we know someone that can help you. Our email address is mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com. The website, www.mydreamhomeusa.com. Our office is in the public part of the Florida Club, which is just off Canner Highway, west of 95. And you can stop in anytime there as well.
All right. Thank you very much.